Shalom. All glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rahakwadash. Double honors to my apostles and elders of Great Millstone who teach the Bible correctly. Shalom to the elect, the 144,000 men. And shalom to the great peaceable multitude, the 1/3, the men, women, and children. Shalom. To you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, you're the real, true biblical Hebrew Israelites, the lost 12 tribes. Lost because we don't know who we truly are as our identity. These are our identities given to us. These are bywords and curses that were given to us, but these are our true identities right here. Today is a Revelation 11:18 update down at the bottom where it says, "And shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth." And that's what this article is going into, how the earth, some part of the earth is destroyed, like the ocean, due to actions that were taken back between the 1930s and the 1970s. Titled, "Scientists have discovered mysterious barrels encircled by strange white hollows in the ocean floor." This is major pollution, which destroys the earth. Barrels dumped decades ago are no longer just silent debris on the ocean floor. A number of them are marked by unusual white rings, suggesting something is still happening around them. Damn, that is horrible. Published on April 13, 2026 at 9:45. A massive underwater dumping site off the coast of Los Angeles is finally starting to reveal what it contains. Scientists have identified highly alkaline substance leaking from submerged barrels, creating areas where most forms of marine supply simply can't survive. This has to be the reason why these big whales and dolphins and major fishes and deep ocean fishes are beaching themselves, sick, full of pollution. This has to play alongside as to why these things happen. This is horrible. For decades, the sea floor in this region has been known to be littered. That's horrible. With industrial waste without a clear idea of what was actually inside. New research is now shedding light on some of these barrels, and what's emerging is concerning. This is horrible. This is why the Lord is shortening the times, and time is flying. We're already halfway through the year of 2026, and we just got here. This all goes back in a period between the 1930s and the early 70s. 40, 50, 60, 70, 4 years. 4 years. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 4 years of dump when different kinds of waste were routinely dumped offshore. Data from the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency shows that this includes chemical waste, oil drilling byproducts, as well as radioactive materials and military explosives spread across 14 disposal sites. This is horrible, man. Jeez. The scale of the problem only really came into public view recently in 2020. An investigation by the Los Angeles Times revealed that deep sea surveys had uncovered large numbers of barrels scattered across the ocean floor. Follow-up missions by the Scripps, I don't know how to pronounce that, Institution of Oceanography, later identified around 27,000 barrel-like objects and more than 100,000 pieces of debris. That's crazy. That's crazy. So that's the article right there. Look at this. Look at this. I mean, look at that. I mean, that's just... Jeez. And that looks like some of the... You see some of those on the whales. Like, you see some of that stuff on whales. Those little bumps. Look at that. It's just... This is horrible. That's horrible. Up to this point, we have mostly been looking for DDT. Don't know what that is. Nobody was thinking about alkaline waste before this, and we may have to start looking for other things as well. This points to the presence of caustic alkaline waste rather than pesticide residues. So I'll put the link in the description in the description box. And lately, for the past 2 videos that I've been doing, 2 minutes into the video and it goes mute. It's very discouraging. Spirit of Poverty Yahweh Shai had revealed that, by reviewing the videos that I have been doing. One of them went silent on me 2 minutes in, like a 27-minute video, and a lot of edification was there. Another video recently that I just did, in the 9th minute mark, it goes silent, which is very discouraging because a lot of edification was there as well. And let's Yahweh Shabbat Tazat doesn't happen in this video. So that destroys the earth, and whoever did that destroys the earth. And the scripture says that it says here in Revelations chapter 11 verse 18 here at the bottom, it says, and shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth. So that's what sparked this video, the scripture. That's what scripture sparked this. So that's what this article is, what sparked this scripture. I'm trying to say it right. That's what scripture came to mind when reading this article. So I asked the chat, how does GMS break down Revelation chapter 11, verse 18? And the goody part is when we get to the point. But all this is edification. According to the teachings of Great Millstone, I'll try to keep it under 15 minutes. It's like a video / testing, because I hope it doesn't go mute. I got to figure out why. I already disabled the app and reinstalled it. So let's see how it works out. It says, according to the teachings of Great Millstone GMS, Revelation chapter 18. I'm sorry, I'm going too fast. Revelation chapter 11, verse 18 is understood by a prophecy about the final judgment and destruction of modern wicked powers, especially America, Babylon, and the reward of the elect of Israel. Here's how they typically break this verse down. Let's read it first. Revelation chapter 11, verse 18. And it says, and the nations were angry. That's the first part they're about to break down. Thy wrath has come, and the time of the dead, that they should be judged, and thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants the prophets, and to the saints, and them that fear thy name, small and great, and shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth. It says, according to the teaching of Great Millstone GMS, Revelation chapter 11, verse 18. And side note, if we do go past 15 minutes, I'll let you know as we get close. Revelation chapter 18. I need to slow down. I'm excited. Revelation chapter 11, verse 18 is understood as a prophecy by the final judgment, the destruction of modern wicked powers, especially America, Babylon, and the reward of the elect of Israel. Here's how they typically break this verse down. And the nations were angry. GMS teaches this refers to the heathen, right? Because they have no breath of life in them. That's why they're... No, I'm going too fast. I'm sorry. I'm excited. Let's start off with the nations are angry. GMS teaches this refers to the heathen, right? Non-Israelite nations being angry in the last days. And this is what we see now, especially with the Straits of Hormuz, the standoff. The nations are angry with each other. Peace talks are being made and they're being broken within hours. Nations are angry, the heathen. The nations are angry, often tied to global tension, war, and resistance against God's will, Yahweh's will. So, hey, that's the results of resisting the will of Yahweh Shemini Shai. You're gonna have tension. You're gonna have war and consequences. You know, but the heathen, the nations were angry, and we see that by global tension, war. They commonly connect this with nations opposing Israel's rise. Right, that's why that's why Esau Edom is coming down like a flood, because that he had but a short time. He knows that the elect of Israel got next in the rulership of the world. They know, Esau knows that Yahweh Shai is coming back to rule the world. End time conflicts like World War III. So that's tying into the nations were angry. Thy wrath has come. This is interpreted as the arrival of Yahweh's judgment, primarily through nuclear destruction, which is World War III. Divine intervention, Yahweh Shai is returning. Because Yahweh Shai is returning he's going to be saving the elect of Israel, 144,000 men, and the great peaceable multitude of men, women, and children. At the same time, conquering the superpowers of today's time, conquering their position of power and authority over the earth. He's pretty much like the next president of the whole world forever and ever and ever. Yahweh Shai's kingdom is an everlasting kingdom because it's governed by a government of immortals. It says, GMS strongly links this to thy wrath has come, links it to the destruction of modern day Babylon, America, by way of World War III. Continuing on as it continues to break down the verse, quote, the time of the dead that they should be judged. Now, earlier in the video, when I got excited when I said that the reason why they're dead is because they have no breath of life in them, that was going to this part of the verse. The time of the dead, who? The heathens, nations are considered the dead in Revelation chapter 11, verse 18. Right here, it's the time of the dead that that's how it's talking about people, the heathen, they should be judged. And the reason why they're symbolically called dead, because they don't have the breath of life in them. They're heathens. The Lord has not dealt so with any other nation, but he only gave his judgments and statutes unto Jacob, his people Israel. His breath of life is given unto us to understand the mysteries of Yahweh Shemini Shai and what he has coming down the pipe, his plans and his counsel, which shall stand. It says GMS understanding, not just physical death, but judgment to all nations, the heathen nations. Okay? Includes punishment of the wicked, vindication of the righteous. So the heathens we're all being judged. Heathens and Israelites as well. We're all being judged some way, form, or fashion. The time of the dead, but this is talking about the heathen, that they should be judged, and they're going to be judged by way of judgment of World War III, the return of Yahweh Shai, and on the flip side, it is the vindication of the righteous. They often connect this with the final judgment when Yahweh Shai returns. Right? It's almost 15 minutes, so we're going to continue reading on because it gets really, really good. We haven't even got to the point of the verse yet that connects to this article when it says that destroy them that destroy the earth. So Lord's will, you were edified on YouTube. We're going to continue on Rumble. And so Lord's will, you were edified on YouTube. Come see me at Rumble. I'll put the link in the description. Lord's will, you were edified up to this point. Shalom.